morning and welcome to Mornings with the Mitten. I'm Deidre.
I'm Stacy. And this week we have with us our beloved broker, Therese Antonelli.
Hello all.
Who is a wealth of information, so we have some unique things happening this week. Dee, where are we at?
Well, I just want to start with saying happy spring break week to everyone. I was just getting back from Florida and I think I left most of the state there. However, yes, as you can tell with my tan. But thank goodness for my colleagues here at the Mitten, because as I was on the beach, they were here
filling in.
Yeah, helping.
We were working
clients.
hard.
And what's funny about that is, so we did go into contract with one of my buyers, which we were so excited.
Congrats.
As you know, it's just a crazy multiple offer world out there. And a question came from one of my clients, and the question was, okay, Dee, guess what? We got accepted, now what?
So as in the now what, what's next is we have inspection. Inspection is a huge, important process as a buyer to be able to make sure that you know the nuts and bolts of the house. So Therese, what are some of the unique things that we recommend for our buyers to do out there when they have an inspection?
So as we know, any offer is contingent on a few different things, inspection being one of them. So the buyer is protected for a period of time, usually 7, sometimes 10 days after the seller accepts the offer, to be able to do their due diligence. And part of their due diligence is to have a private home inspection. So most agents have a couple of home inspection companies that they know and they trust.
Okay, so I have a question for you right there.
Yes.
Should Uncle Joe be inspecting our home?
Absolutely not. And this is not something you skimp on. Whether you're buying a $50,000 house or a $500,000 house, a home inspection can range anywhere from about $300 to $400, maybe $450. It's going to be the best money spent so that you know that the property that you're buying isn't going to come with some defects that's going to cost you more money in the future. So when we recommend a couple of our very well-known, very reputable, knowledgeable, and trustworthy home inspectors, plan for about a 3.5 hour at most time frame. That inspector is going to start all the way on the roof of the house, going to inspect the shingles, going to get up into the attic to ensure there's no mold, no mildew growth, make sure the sheathing is all fine from the roof, going to make sure there's going to be enough insulation in the roof, in the attic space. Then he's going to move down into the rest of the home, checking every electrical outlet, every light socket, your heating, your cooling, your hot water heater, and then most importantly, looking down into the basement. If your home is on a basement or a crawl, he's going to ensure that that foundation is in a good shape. Now, we always suggest a couple add-ons to a traditional home inspection.
Before we hit there, can I add a piggyback?
Absolutely.
We are there with you during that inspection. So we're following that inspector around. So that way you can ask questions at the time. We're even asking questions at the time. So that way you know exactly what this house has and what they're finding, and we get a report at the end.
Yes.
So
most good home inspectors will either print out a physical report at the time of the home inspection, or some of them prefer to just shoot you an email. Now a good solid report is 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 pages long. It includes pictures throughout the property. It includes some verbiage of what they found, good, bad, or indifferent. I sometimes joke, usually tell maybe the man of the transaction that it's his lifelong honey-do list, and then everybody jokes. But importantly, there's 2 extra add-on tests that we can add on to any home inspection, and this is sometimes house-specific. So the first one is a sewer scope. What we do is, in some of the areas we find there's, you know, in the front yard, everybody loves a tree-lined street, right? Even we as real estate agents use it in our description to describe a neighborhood.
But what do all trees have?
Roots. And roots can puncture sewer lines. And that is not a cheap or a fun way to spend your money. So for a very inexpensive add-on of a home inspection, we can actually send a camera through that sewer line to ensure that it is solid, that it's not corroded, it's not crumbling, and that there's no roots penetrating it. So that's huge. That's number one. The second add-on is sometimes a radon test. So many people are scared of radon gas, and it's something to be scared of, but it's something that can be corrected. Radon gas is a naturally occurring gas. It comes from our earth. And for someone who plans to use their lower level finished basement per se as an area for their children to play, or maybe even a spare bedroom for a teenager.
Anytime you spend downstairs.
Absolutely.
Additional living
Anytime.
space.
Anytime.
It's important. get the radon test. It's about $155 add-on. I think we just confirmed that with our preferred home inspection team.
Yep.
And it gives you such peace of mind.
Definitely peace of mind.
Now again, if there is radon findings in the basement, it can be remedied. There's a radon mitigation system that can be installed for almost nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
And it can be something we can ask the seller to do.
We negotiate.
It can be something that you decide to do on your own in the future. But more knowledge and being proactive up front is going to really help you in the long run.
And again, that's why it's important to have an inspection company that will create the programs or the tests and provide at the end the results, because that's what we will use to go back to a seller if we need to.
So piggybacking on what Stacy said, Uncle Joe or Uncle John or Uncle Paul
Right.
or even Dad who thinks he knows it all, that's great. Have those people there with you during the home inspection, but hire that professional, because in terms of negotiations, it's going to be really hard for us to forward over a camera phone picture from Uncle
Right.
Paul and say, hey, we need this fixed.
Right.
It's going to be much more legit for us to forward over a page of an inspection report from a home inspector that's well known in the area, that has pictures and verbiage of what's truly wrong and how it needs to be remedied.
Not to mention peace of mind of the home that you're going to be living in for hopefully a very long time. And
Right.
if it's something that you have even a doubt in your mind,
Yep.
those will be put at ease.
This is one of your largest purchases that you will be making.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
with that being said, what kind of
What kind of purchases do we have coming up this week in some
Yeah,
listings?
we have some awesome properties hitting market this weekend. I'm telling you, spring is heating up. Each week we've been releasing more and more properties into the inventory, and we're hitting multiples every single week. So this week we have several. The first one is actually right here in Belleville. It's on McBride in the Haggerty sub. That particular property is great. It's 3 bedrooms, 1 full bath. That's a property around 1,200 square feet. We are situated on a crawl space on that one, but they have a huge 2-car garage. We're going to be listing that one at $125,000. We also have one in Romulus. It's on Merriman Road. $199,900 is the list price on that, and it's a big one. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath colonials. Updated baths in that home, main floor laundry, large fenced-in yard, and there is actually an extra lot included, over 1 acre. So
Nice.
if you want some property, that's the one for you. We have one on Magnolia Court, and that's in Farmington Hills. That's a unique one. This one we're listing at $195,000. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath ranch condo.
Yes.
This is actually situated in a 50 years old and up community with a lot of extras. It's the Botsford Commons community. So they have a theater, they have a pool, they have extended care for people who need a little bit additional help as they age.
Very nice.
And then we also have one on Outer Drive in Dearborn. That's a 2-bed, 1.5 bath ranch, brick ranch, about 1,100 square feet. We do have a basement on that one, on a corner lot, and a 2-car garage. That one's listing at $125,000. And all of our open houses this weekend are on Saturday from 12 to 2.
Well, great. With that being said, we hope to see you at one of our open houses.
Yeah,
and
you can
or
always find one of us there,
Yep.
and or one of our many agents that are here as well.
And please feel free to give us a call with any questions that you might have from information that Therese shared with you today.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Absolutely.
that's what we're here for. We're here for any of your real estate needs. So call, fax, text. Thank you again for sharing on Facebook. We love all of
Yes.
your attention
Yes,
on Facebook as
definitely.
well. Everyone have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.